thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. And all this week, we're taking things one day at a time. Give or take a few days that are out of the ordinary and are especially worth savoring and sharing. The next category being country days. Ah, the good old country days. There's something to be said for spending some time in the country, the urban and or rural country, that helps put your mind at ease and allows you to enjoy a lovely and near primitive commune with basic creature comforts, whether you're down in southern country or living further up north anywhere near the town of Rupert, Vermont, which is where for well over a decade, Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen called home, at least for a few weeks in the year, planning, prepping, testing, tasting, and filming an entire season of their public television spin-off series. In trailing from yesterday's ATK review, our complete salad cookbook video, it's with great pleasure that I give you an ATK twofer with Season 2 of Cook's Country and a 2-disc DVD set purchased for $2.99 from Adjective store in Patterson. However, something's missing from Season 2. Make that a certain special someone. Test cook Julia Collin Davison. In fact, she's not featured anywhere in Season 2. This is the first and only season of either of the two ATK PBS shows, this one and the main show, which was, at the time, filmed in the Brookline, Massachusetts Test Kitchen, that she had to take a leave of absence from. I presume it was to take care of her daughter Marta, who might have been a newborn at the time. I don't know. I don't dwell into the personal lives of the ATK Test Kitchen staffers, especially the on-camera cooks. That's for somebody else to do. I'm kind of like somebody who works on the show Cops in that regard. When they're on the beat, I'm on the beat. When they're off the beat, I go off the grid. Another thing that's kind of off about this, a certain bow tie in chief doubling down on his all-time favorite adjective. Fabulous. Isn't that right, Mr. Fabulous? The guy who says that word at the end of almost every recipe segment near 24 times. Oh, Christopher Kimball. He may annoy me, but I love him. Ironically, the highest praise anyone could get in his neck of the woods in Vermont is pretty good. Boy, has Chris Kimball evolved. And another thing that's kind of off about this, the Tasty Lab segments. Somebody on the staff had the bright idea to film all the Tasty Lab segments for Cook's Country in front of a live studio audience. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around that. Maybe a little off-putting. I mean, I'm not one of the producers on the show, but if you're filming one segment with a live studio audience, you might as well film the whole show with a live audience. In fact, during the early seasons of Chris Kimball's Milk Street spinoff, he actually filmed a few main recipe segments in front of a live audience at the Milk Street headquarters in Boston. Go fig. Anyway, enough about what's off about this. Let's get on to business. Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen features the best regional home cooking in the country and relies on the same practical, no-nonsense food approach that has made Cook's Country magazine a success. Filmed in a renovated 1806 farmhouse, this is where family-friendly recipes are scientifically reimagined for the modern home cook. And reimagining all of the regional home cooking specialties you'll find in this season is host Christopher Kimball, editor-in-chief of Cook's Illustrated and Cook's Country magazine, and host of the show. It's his job to ask the questions that the viewers ask. You know, he's kind of representative for the viewers. The Andy Rudy-esque curmudgeon-like representative. Who's still a relative ray of sunshine. And of course, the test cooks, absent Julia sadly, we still have Bridget Lancaster, who's certainly in her element. And test kitchen director Erin McMurrow, who slowly but surely comes into her own this season. And of course, in the equipment corner, you got my boy, Adam Reed, and for the live Tasty Lab segments, Jack Bishop, as always. And hey, maybe it was kind of a benefit, if somewhat of a detriment, to have a live studio audience because the Tasty Lab segments are the most unpredictable, here and back in the Brookline Test Kitchen. Us ATK diehards know that. Anyway, this set contains all 13 episodes from Season 2 of Cook's Country. An old-fashioned roast beef dinner to kick it off, puck-up pies, rising sign, sapphire seafood, super fudgy cake, chili and cornbread, southern barbecue, a fail-safe Thanksgiving, which is tradition for every season of both ATK shows, fried chicken, Texas beef barbecue, stovetop desserts, perfect pork, and historical cakes. All of which including printable PDF versions of all 25 recipes throughout these 13 shows. You can put them on your computer and get today's recipes for dinner tonight, as the website book and DVD plug at the end of every show would say. And by the way, this paired with the Best Country Recipes Cookbook, which is the Season 2 companion, would cost you $19.95, plus shipping and handling. Not really a bad price, but you know how I strain. And man, sitting on a porch swing with a tall, cool glass of lemonade, no ice please, just taking in the aromas of something delicious coming from my farmhouse in Vermont or anywhere in the northern or southern country. Ah, man. Those are the days. These are the two discs. Disc 1 featuring fluffy buttermilk pancakes on the cover. Disc 2 featuring Alabama barbecue chicken on its cover. These are the episodes and recipes for Disc 1 and the episodes and recipes on Disc 2. And all told, with closed captioning, and no other bonus features to be found other than the printable PDF recipes, this runs approximately 345 minutes. Presented by ATK Productions and WGBH Boston at the time, distributed by American Public Television. Bless them, now more than ever before. Anyway, let's have a look at the discs themselves. Disc 2, Disc 1. Both thankfully giving you options as to what segments you want to watch. You can watch a few segments a la carte, the cooking, tasting, or testing segments by themselves, or you can play the whole darn episode. For me, the a la carte selection works because it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head again around the live audience tasting lab segments. Then again, maybe it's something I can warm up to. Cook's Country from Season 2 is suddenly giving me a warm feeling, with some reservations. I give it 4 claps. By the way, with regard to Cook's Country magazine, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but after the October-November dual-month publication this year, Cook's Country magazine will cease production. No more Cook's Country magazine. This comes after the second round of layoffs across the board at ATK, which is kind of a shame. I mean, given the current public media climate now, especially due to a certain jerkwad-in-chief in Washington cutting over $1 billion for public broadcasting, federal funding, there will undoubtedly be cuts across the board, especially at ATK, which is called PBS home for all of its 25 years and counting. So, I implore you, don't miss what's right between your eyes, because after Thanksgiving, your eyes won't deceive you once you see a lack of Cook's Country magazines at the newsstand. However, we have a whole smorgasbord of Cook's Country magazines, plus 2 more DVD sets in the library that you'll want to be on the lookout for. We're setting up shop in Cook's Country for the long haul. I hope you are too, because these country days are far from numbered. That's Cook's Country Season 2. Here's what's on the docket for Wednesday. And this is a sight for sore eyes. So I'll tell you, Peter Griffin, you traded up. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here. And make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.